He's my mechanic. He's my subway driver. He's my pilot. He's my dad. Everything I did was for Jalen Brunson. Just witnessed the greatest game of all time. Oh, is it a bird? No, is it a play? No, it's Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson.
He saved us. He's our doctor. He pumped us when we needed help. We was down 17. No, we was down 22. And guess who came to the call? Guess who came to the back of the call? Jalen Brunson, I love you.
What's up, Malcolm? What's up, Alphas? Welcome to Keep It 99. It's your boy Zelmae with Monray. And we are breaking down an absolute roller coaster of a week in the NBA playoffs. First off, we talk about the Mecca. The New York Knicks are officially heading to the NBA Finals for the first time since the 90s. The city is going crazy, and we break down exactly this gritty team pulled off the unthinkable. But on the flip side of that series, we do have the Cavaliers and what happened to them following a catastrophic blowout and a bunch of total collapses. The Cavs fade and what drastic offseason moves they had. Y'all saw the Knicks fans. They are wild, and I saw they took the subway sign down. I have seen people actually say that they want to see them win to see if the city can survive if it turns to Gotham. So we're going to break that down. Then we pivot to an absolute war, which we're going to start out with in the West. OKC Thunder versus the San Antonio Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. We recap the action and preview the rest of the games, but there is an elephant in the room that we cannot ignore: the refs. The officiating completely this whole playoff's been a little bit bad, but the fans are making it way worse. So it's not even a thing. And the impact on the outcome of the series and social media and talking points in general, we give our raw and true thoughts. By the way, like I said earlier, we are joined with Monray. How you doing today, Monray?
Yo, your boy Monray. We here. We ready to discuss wild weekend. Probably not as wild as New York right now, but the wild weekend. Also, shout out to I am a Boston Celtics fan. Shout out to Joe Mazzulla for stealing Coach of the Year for this year. I got to give him props for that. He did take it. So, just got to throw that out there before we dive into other stuff. We're probably not going to talk about Boston Celtics for a while. So, just got to throw it in when I can. But other than that, let's get it in.
Yeah. Let's start off with the elephant in the room, the thing. Y'all saw the Jalen Brunson thing. It was funny. We'll get to that later. But the first thing I want to talk about is the refs, and I want to address this. So, the fans in this series on Twitter, specifically X, NBA Twitter is one of the greatest things on earth. But it has been abysmal. Worse than the referees has been in the playoffs. All I hear is complain about fouls. I'm with Charles Barkley. I hear everyone getting mauled and attacked and they should be in jail and they playing football. And I'm like, I have not seen any of this. And the closest we got to it was Minnesota game 1 and 2. Well, that got a little rough. But other than that, it has not been that bad. Like I've said repeatedly, I don't care about the physicality. I just don't like when you grab Wemby's arms or anybody's arms because I can't explain that away. I can't call it a box out. It's just an illegal play that shouldn't be happening. And it's ugly. And the problem that's happening right now is you have a lot of fans. Shout out to Los. I love Los, but he's complaining too. That they are mauling. Skip Bayless does it too. Council is mauling. Again, this term maul, I agree with Charles Barkley. Ain't nobody getting mauled. That he ain't even shooting that many free throws. The problem has never been the free throws with Shea. Nobody cares. If he shot a lot of free throws, nobody cares. It's the way he falls and does things. Like he leans forward and kicks his feet forward when people box out.
Slopping.
And they call him a free throw merchant because it appears like he's trying to get a free throw. Not that he's getting fouls, because he's not getting that many foul calls. They probably stopped after last year too, anyway, because he's getting a lot less free throws this year. But people call him a foul merchant because it's ugly basketball. I have no problem with it personally. But a lot of people just don't like the way it looks. And that's why they call him a foul merchant, even if he don't get called the fouls or whatever. And I've seen people compare the free throw attempts between San Antonio and OKC. Listen, OKC not going in the paint. They are avoiding the paint. Minnesota Spurs for the next 10 years is probably going to lead the league lead in free throw attempts over their opponent because no one's going in the paint. It's a giant in there, and people. If you watch the Ant-Man documentary on YouTube, you understand what he's saying. He's like an 8-foot man tall. It's an 8'5" man in the paint, and he just reaches arms out and you get blocked without him jumping. It's insane. So they gonna get more fouls because Castle very aggressive and Dylan Harper aggressive. But this whole idea that every time something happens, y'all recording or taking a screenshot or doing all this over every foul, it's annoying. We can't even make NBA jokes no more. It's all screenshots, and most of these are bot accounts too. They just like all their pictures is like OKC fans or somebody else, or it's a picture of this NBA player, and y'all all just complaining. And y'all promote your algorithm because y'all got blue check marks. I'm like, NBA Twitter is not fun no more, Monray. And I just wanted to stop because listen, it's playoff basketball. People gonna get fouled. It's gonna be aggressive. Like I said, the only thing I hate is that I can't explain it to a casual why he's grabbing his arm when he's going for a rebound because it's not a basketball play. But other than that, I don't care about the physical. It's playoff basketball. Be physical. And it ain't even super physical. Like I said, Minnesota game 1 and 2 was ridiculously way more physical than this. Well, your thoughts on the free throw merchant name. Like I said, I don't care about that. And all the other stuff.
I mean, I'm big fair. Like the free throw merchant thing really started last year when the Thunder was on their way. Because the amount of free throws that Shea got last year, at some points it was really, really a lot. I'll say that. I ain't gonna put no negative stand on it. It was just a lot. So like it started last year that the Thunder was more pointed towards being the negative or being like the hated team, something like that. And then this year, when you have like some of the officiating has been bad this year leading up to this, but just it got magnified when you have, like I said last week, the biggest Western Conference Finals I think you've had in 10 years. Like I think the last one that was this like big or magnified or watched or something was when the Warriors went against the Thunder like 10 years ago. I think that was like the last one that had like a lot of stock or anything. But all the Western Finals haven't really been like of this kind of magnitude or too juggernaut necessarily or something like that nature. So it was something like that. It was just more like watching things. But look, people want to talk about they want to talk about the officiating. Wasn't nobody yapping this loud when the Pistons got hold out of 2 games last year because of bad officiating. And those calls were way worse than anything we've seen now. The Pistons literally got screwed out of a game for a foul not being called that was blatantly obvious. We don't want to go into the real bad officiating. No, they just want to talk about it because it's Thunder and it's Spurs. We know what it is. But yeah, some of the officiating has been rough. We acknowledge that. It ain't been that bad. So, and like I said, playoff basketball, they're going to be physical. They're supposed to let them play a little bit more. I'm cool with it. Like I said, just the egregious calls, what is like the backcourt violation call, something like that nature, the grabbing of the arms, of those fouls that weren't called. Yeah, like I have more problem with the no calls than I do about the outright fouls. Like,
like real physical, and then they'll call like the lightest tap I've ever seen.
I got way more problems with the no calls than I got about anything else. Like just easily. So it is what it is.
I saw Sid Thompson get tripped and the ball go out of bounds and the referee just looked at him.
I'm like, what? Like the no calls have gotten me way more than just the outright fouls or something.
Yeah. Like I said, listen, people, and then Shea still does the little thing where he kicks his feet out when you try to like come out on him, so then he falls to the ground and the referee calls it. But like I said, it ain't really that bad. I think people
non-watchable. What you mean? Like, no matter who wins the Western Conference Finals, it's going to be must-see TV. No matter who. No matter who wins.
I think Derpy don't like the Knicks, so that's what I think it is.
I mean, yeah, that can be fine, but it's literally going to be must-see TV, no matter who wins. It's going to be must-see TV.
By the way, Knicks fans are losing their mind. If they win a championship, it might turn to Gotham City. Shout out to Derpy, by the way. This was my guy right here. This is Liddy.
Like when I say must-see TV, like bro, it's gonna be so funny to watch. Like, cause the way the Knicks are playing makes it to where they are a legitimate threat to win the championship. So you can't deny that they're good basketball to watch, especially considering all the complaining we got on the other side of the NBA. Everybody complaining on a per game basis on that Western Conference Finals. The Knicks are just casually destroying people by 30 to 50 points.
Bro, I'm tired of watching screenshots on Twitter of y'all just taking like 1 point. Y'all ain't even taking a video. It's literally so bad that y'all don't have a point that y'all will take a screenshot of a person grabbing a jersey. And I'm like, because he didn't grab it that long. And I'm like, really? We just desperate?
It ain't about allowing.
Derby just hating Knicks.
Yeah, I get it, but it ain't about allowing Wemby. If he win, he win. If they don't win, they don't win. I can't say there's been horribly unfair one way or the other in the Western Conference Finals when there's 2-2 right now. And it comes to the Knicks. Look, I'm a Boston fan. I obviously do not like the Knicks that I have to make a choice about them. But as a basketball fan, I can't sit here and act like the Knicks with the way they playing and the way the fans are and the way that Madison Square Garden is going to be rocking versus one of the two best Western Conference Finals teams. I'm not gonna act like I'm not gonna act like that's gonna be shit. Like absolutely, that is must see TV. Like that's probably gonna be a better finals than we've had in the last 6 years. I can't. Like I said, I don't like the Knicks, but I'm not gonna act like that finals is not gonna be must see TV. Like I look at the last few finals we've had. Matter of fact, Grandpa, what's the last good? Not trying to challenge Derby or nothing. I get it because I don't like the Knicks, but what's the last good competitive finals matchup you were excited to see? Not like once the game got started. You were excited to see before it started. I can't remember one of the last 6 years.
Would it be Golden State versus Cleveland the first time before Durant?
Maybe.
I can't think of one.
After Durant.
Yeah, that was that. Because that was that game 7. Kyrie hit a game winner in game 7, and that was crazy.
Yeah, so that might have been the matchup when they.
I'm thinking about
that was Curry's unanimous MVP season, and Cleveland was there fully. Yeah, that might have been the last great anticipated one.
Down 3-1, 73-9, down 3-1.
Derby just said it. So I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, bro, we got like a finals matchup that might actually be good for both sides to watch. And I'm like, I ain't gonna, nah, bro. I'm not even. I don't care if they get swept or not. I just say it's gonna be must-see competitive TV. I can't act like that's not something I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch it. I can't do it. Like Derby, you right outside. I can't act like I'm not gonna watch that. It's too good. It's too good for me to sit there and not watch it. Even if I don't like the Knicks, I don't like the Knicks. And you know what happened when Boston played them last year and JT tore his Achilles, in that matchup, or the year before. Bro, I know act like I like the Knicks. I do not. But the way they playing versus the two Western Conference Finals teams, I don't care who wins. That's gonna be money to watch.
Yeah. Let's see some of the other ones before 2016, with the Raptors versus Golden State, when Golden State everybody tore their ACL and got hurt.
Yeah, that was quiet, and that one was more exciting leading up to it with the Sixers series and stuff with Kawhi's run. That was better than that. Rather watch tennis. Look, like I said, I don't care who wins.
I hate the Knicks.
I get it. I don't like the Knicks either. So you hating them, I understand. But as a basketball fan, I'm just not gonna be like you can skip their last game if they up or have to win something. I ain't finna sit here and be like, yeah, I ain't gonna watch. Shit. I ain't finna sit here and be like, I can watch tennis. Like I ain't going that far. If I gotta pick a team in the NBA I don't like that much, who would it be? It would probably be. Let's see. It ain't 76ers. I don't like y'all either, Grandpa. Let's see. I had to deal with the Pacers after they beat us last year. Yeah, as a basketball fan, it's probably not really a finals if it's good. If it's not a good fight. Oh yeah, the Heat. That's the one I didn't watch. I don't like the Heat. That's the one I didn't. Even when they got beat both times, I really didn't watch. I didn't watch that series most of the time. I just want them to lose because I ain't like it. But that's like the only team I'm probably like, man, forget y'all. But other than that, I'll probably watch almost anything. Nick, the Heat. Oh no, forget all y'all. I don't care what you
Let's go over some of the games we done had. Oklahoma City versus Indiana. That wasn't a good one.
Yeah, it was good once it got started, but anticipating, nah.
Boston versus Dallas, nah.
It was entertaining, but we were the hated team, so people were like hating on us that one too.
Maybe Golden State versus Boston would be a pretty good.
That was decent. We weren't hated that year at least, so it was decent.
Milwaukee Bucks versus Phoenix. No, that was a boring one.
Yeah, nobody cared.
Toronto versus Golden State when they got all hurt. No. Golden State versus Cleveland. That's when they swept them because they had Durant and Curry.
Yep.
Yeah, it was 2016. Cleveland versus Golden State. 73-9, down 3-1. That's the last.
I don't blame you because, like I said, they fans are gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna deny it, but I'm just like the first good finals we will possibly have, like anticipating matchup wise, in 10 years? Bro, I'm sorry, I can't sit there and not watch that. When for all I know, next year I might have to suffer through the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Like if I gotta sit and watch through those, nothing against Grandpa, I'm just saying, if I gotta sit there and watch like those teams, the teams that I'm not excited to see, or heavens no, if I gotta go and watch the Lakers versus the Heat again, I refuse to utter my eyes to watch that bullshit again. So I am not, the Mickey Mouse one, the last enjoy my ass. Like, no, you think that the Mickey Mouse one or the Bubble Championship was the one I refused to watch. Not only because of COVID and everything else, it had my two probably most disliked teams as a Boston fan in the finals at the same time. I couldn't stand to watch it. Even though I couldn't stand to watch them games, but I couldn't stand. I was like, okay, absolutely not. Ugh.
But we got the game going on right now. But in the past games, as I said, I already stated, when Wimby becomes aggressive, I don't think there's nothing OKC can do because he just want to get in the paint because they're let's be honest, Chet look like he's scared for his life because he's like, this man
You gotta foul him.
To destroy my life.
You gotta foul him. That's all you can do, just foul him and be done with it. Like can't do Chet.
The thing about fouling him though, he's shooting 89.4%.
I know that's all you can do though. You gotta just make him afraid.
Like Chet, I don't know what you gotta do to figure it out. Yeah, right now it's 11-6. Most of the defensive game, but listen, when Wimby play with force and decided I'm just gonna dominate, and then all of a sudden he gets that rhythm that he start feeling himself and he start hitting half court threes and shooting threes all over the place with step backs and all that. It just
it's like you just gotta.
They just gotta hope he just in the mood to settle because every game he settled, they basically lost. Anything you shoot. What's the last game they lost? He only shot 4 attempts in the first half?
That was game three. Game 3.
Yeah, I'm saying the first. That's the only game. Minnesota, the only game y'all lost. He was 0 for 8 from 3 because you're just shooting 3. When he wants to dominate, there's nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just like when he gets in the rhythm, sure, but like you let him dominate or something, like, okay. But other than that, they're just gonna have to match it. They're gonna have to match that intensity, be hitting out in the shots and all that kind of stuff. So oh yeah, I did see that about Jacobs getting arrested for like possible domestic violence. I saw that. I just didn't say something crazy. Football, wait your turn. We'll get y'all in the offseason.
But yeah, my whole thought process on this is on the preview of this game. I think if Wimby come out with force, there ain't nothing OKC can do. I think they'll hang with him for a little bit, but at the end of the day, it just be like it's a force of nature that's not normal. But if he's settling for jumpers and just chilling throughout the game and picking spots to rest, and he's not aggressive and he's still missing, OKC can still run off with the game early. Spurs always come out every game with like a 8-10 point lead early because they got a lot of energy to start out. But I think the problem with game 3, they came out with too much energy and then they didn't know what to do with it, and then they all just played horrible.
The other thing OKC might end up doing, they've done it before. It's just they might go like game 1 route, which they'll just hang around and let the Spurs exhaust their energy. Because Wimby, like we love Wimby and everything in nature. We can admit Wimby is still like not to the point where he's fully not able to be gassed. Basically, like he can get tired around if he's going hard like this. He can get tired around the fourth quarter, and it has happened to where he just get gassed and he's not as aggressive. He settles a lot more and stuff, and that's how the OKC has been able to take some of their runs at the end of the game. So they might do that again. Like if you just want to go aggressive, okay, we just keep up within like 10 points, and then when he gets gassed and stays out the paint and stuff like that, we can just make it work. They may do that route as well. So unless they get blown out, it's what it is.
0 points and 1 rebound. He been chilling.
Who?
Wimby, he chilling right now.
No, I said like that. So like
they got all the points right now. He got 11 points.
We'll see how they do. Depends on which route they go, man.
Listen, if he can chill till he get ready to take over.
Yeah, now if he chills for most of the game, then they got a problem. He's just gonna explode at the end.
Okay, Derby, what if Wimby though? What if it's Wimby? Would you watch it then?
To me, like I said,
watching a giant superhero out here being realistic because he's not normal.
Like I get it if it's like OKC and the Knicks, then I can get he might be like, okay, well, one team I don't like, and then one team is the enemy of the league, so, quote unquote. So I can understand that, but I'm just like that's money. That is a money finals, no matter just because the Knicks are there. It's a money finals, no matter who wins. Like I'm gonna be real. Like if it was Cleveland there, I'm like, well, ain't no point me even watching the finals because whoever goes against Cleveland, they're winning in 5. So I wouldn't watch that. If it was the Pistons, like I said, it ain't just Cleveland. If it was the Pistons, I'd be like, oh, okay, whoever they're winning in 5 or 6. Like, you know, there wouldn't be no point. This, especially with the way the Knicks are playing, oh, we finna have. It's gonna be so funny just to watch the fans, the people in the crowd, just like it was when the Raptors, like with Drake doing all that random stuff every game. Like, it's gonna be hilarious for me to watch. So I can't help but to watch that.
Skip Bayless on the internet already complaining about fouls because that's what he does.
You know,
he done made this narrative all of a sudden that somehow he trying to create another narrative that I don't think people care about. Because I'm not gonna lie, people do not like the Thunder simply because they're boring. They like the old Spurs, except for Shea does. He does do the little foul bait thing, and we're not gonna pretend like he don't. He don't get the calls. He ain't getting the calls like he did last year. Nowhere near getting the calls like he did last year. Was this year? I think what he gets like 6 free throws a game. Last year was
he's only getting like 6 to 8 on average. He's not getting a lot of free throws and stuff. So that's made him have to get his points and stuff in other ways. Like, and to be fair, it's not just him. Even Jalen Brunson, who was the other foul merchant last year. Like I said, he was the other foul merchant last year, and even he's not getting them as much. But then again, they haven't needed him to get some fouls and stuff because they've just been dominating teams from front to back.
Wemby still has not took a good shot yet. That is not good for the Spurs.
Now, if he don't get in rhythm and they just try to throw it to him at the end, they might have problems.
Champagne is cooking right now, but you gotta.
We shall see.
He really hate the Knicks. Shout out to that.
No, I understand because he feels basically the same way I feel about the Heat. I'm like, I said, I got too much bad blood for the Heat to deal with them. I got too much bad blood. We should be in history for the first 3-0 comeback in history, and they got lucky because of a Tatum injury. I don't want to hear this bullshit right now. Oh, boy.
I don't even know. Half the players that lead the Heat end up being sorry everywhere else. Man, it's the spoil fit.
I mean, at this point, I don't even know what you make of a Spo effect anymore since the Heat haven't been relevant since their last finals appearance run.
They lost more players again.
They just haven't been relevant.
Matt Riley just really put the worst players and like Spo coach them up, and then they just make a play in there.
I mean, because to be fair, they can't really get anybody to come there. Like, they've tried for years, and they just can't get nobody to come to.
It's because Pat Riley runs such a hard ship that you can't do nothing. They ain't trying to do that. Yo, the Knicks fans out here wild. Y'all saw the intro. This man cried and said Jalen Brunson his doctor. We're gonna end off that too. I want to end off that. That's hilariously crazy.
Crazy.
But as I stated, we do have. Let's see what they're presenting. We do have another one besides that game. Anything else you want to talk about the Western Conference Final from what we've seen?
No, not really. Up until we get to the point of we see who wins. It's still gonna be a great series. I think it probably still goes to 7, but we'll see how it goes.
I think if the Spurs win, they win in 6.
Yeah, let's see.
Because San Antonio is gonna be rocking. And if Wemby can conserve his energy the way he's doing, because I think he got 1 rebound. And no
I think he still got a game to go though. So I mean, I'm talking about this game. This game still got a long way to go. So we'll see. It ain't the Knicks and the Cavaliers. So we might get a full game worth of competitiveness.
Yo, the Cavs quit, which we're gonna talk about now. Listen, I don't care what nobody say. The Cavs quit. That was a quit performance. Only person I seen run back with Donovan Mitchell, Merrill, and Strauss. Everybody else, I promise you, everybody else jogged back every play. Donovan Mitchell just staking Euro because it's 3-on-1. And it was just, I'm like, this is ugly. Every time they scored, I promise you, every time the Cavs scored, the Knicks got layup.
I mean, I ain't gonna hold you, but like to me, they quit in game 3, not game 4. They quit game 3. Like they was just like, you know what, bro, we ain't got it. Good run. And game 4, they just showed. They did like we do at work. They showed up just so they don't get fined. Like they showed up so they can get paid. Like there's like, we here. They were already in Cleveland, so we ain't gotta go travel by no plane after this game or nothing. So in my mind, I'm like, they quit game 3, bro. Other than Donovan Mitchell, the rest of them quit game 3.
Donovan Mitchell had 31 points in 31 minutes. He didn't play in the fourth quarter. He had 30 points. Ask me who else did something.
Nobody. How about the James Harden performance?
James Harden was 2 for 8, 12 points. 5 turnovers.
No 3.
2 assists. 0 for 6 from 3.
Didn't they get James Harden so that they can help run the offense better? Wasn't that
He
the
only
point?
had 2 assists.
Wasn't that the point? Wasn't he
The man
supposed to be
had 2
there to
assists and
help
shot
with
2
those two big men? You know, those two talented big men, and you know, wasn't he supposed to be there to help with their development, help them to do stuff and everything? That Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, weren't they supposed to be
Allen
there?
had 6 points and 3 rebounds at 7 foot tall.
Weren't they supposed to, help them out and stuff? Did I miss something? Did I miss the game? You miss anything?
Listen, that was crazy.
I'm just like, bro, they quit game 3 and they just showed up on game 4 so they could get paid.
I think when they lost that 22-point lead in the first game, I think the series was over then. I think it was over. I think they never recovered.
I'm willing to accept it. At first, I was looking at it as, okay, everybody thought that they were probably just going to get, smackered, by the Knicks or whatever case may be, at least the way the Knicks were playing and how they were struggling along. And they came out. I thought at first, okay, maybe they can use that as motivation. But okay, we can play with these boys. And, we just had a collapse, but we can play with them. We can compete with them. Now, looking back, yeah, that was probably. Donovan Mitchell said, he's like, bro, we can't let go of 22-point leads and 7 minutes ago in the first game. Like, like at that point, I think, like their soul pretty much got snatched out of there. Like, we can't even maintain 22 points for 7 minutes. And then just the other 3 games just were not really close like that. They hung around for game 2 and game 3 a little bit. Game 4 wasn't even. Game 4, they shouldn't even showed up. They're like going to show up. So, I'd have to agree. That's probably the moment that they lost everything. They just pretty much packed it in. It was like, that's it. But I'm a bit befuddled on what you do. I really am. I don't.
Which is the next question. What do you do with the Cavs? Because you didn't just get swept. You was up 22 points and you lost by 15, and you basically lost by 15 every game. Like, you didn't just get beat. Like, it ain't like you got swept in close game. You got blown out in almost every game. Let's see how many points they actually got blown out while Monray talked. Let me see.
I talked about it a little bit before pre-call and stuff. Like, if I just really had to think about it, like, it's unfortunate that they can't undo the trade that they did, because if I was them, I would rather. I'm sure of it now. I'd rather have had Darius Garland than I would James Harden. I just would. Like, just if I could at least have him in the playoffs or something, like, just thinking like Darius Garland, at least the play-in games, he did solid. It might not have been crazy, but he did solid 10 to 20 points. The other part, he's a great defender. Darius Garland can play defense. He's young. He definitely could have ran up and down with these boys. And I'm just of the mindset, like, considering their competition, James Harden had a couple of good games, first series, and I think 1 or 2 in the Pistons series. I'm just of the mindset, like, bro, I could have got the consistency I probably would have gotten from Darius Garland, probably would have outdone those couple games. And I'm just, in my mind, I don't think Darius Garland would have averaged 5, 6 turnovers. I just don't think he would have given you that. And he already had the familiarity with the team because, they've been there together since, day one. So I'm just like, I wish I could have had that trade back. And right now they can't go back and be like, hey, Clippers, y'all want to trade James Harden for Darius Garland? No, they can't do that. So I'm of the mindset, this is going to be a little tough. Either you go all in and you be like, hey, we'll give you one of these bigs for Giannis, and we just run it back with Giannis, pick up some players to run a bench, and go all in on the East. Something like that. Because I don't think this notion of LeBron James look, everybody, a go-home story sounds great. I'm not going to knock you. It sounds great. I remember hearing on the radio earlier, I think they can only offer him the veteran minimum, which is like $3 million. I doubt LeBron takes that, like, unless he really just wants to go home for that go-home celebration. If he want money, he ain't going to Cleveland. So I'm of the mindset I don't think he's doing it. And then, so either you go all in with the Giannis or somebody of that caliber player, or I think you blow it up. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think you either go all in or you blow it up, because the way the team is constructed now, they on paper, I thought they were like a second round exit or something just because of how they're playing. At least after the season went on, so when we was talking about our playoff preview stuff, I think that's what I said. Going forward, I don't really see them being any different. They already said Kenny Atkinson, their coach, is coming back. I think they said that. So because you're not getting rid of the coach, because that means you don't believe it's the coach's fault. You're looking at your players. I don't know the team that'll take James Harden and give you back something worthwhile. I'm sorry, so you might be stuck with him. And if you're stuck with James Harden, you got Donovan Mitchell. He ain't going anywhere. And your bigs ain't going anywhere most likely unless you trade them. I'm of the mindset, hey, if we can trade one of these two bigs and some good players or something and get a Giannis or just somebody crazily good, I don't really see a pathway that they can get better. Like, I don't really see a way they can get like a small time better. Like, we can get this person, and make it work. I don't really see that kind of thing because I don't really see them kind of players being free compared to what they have. So I'm just like, look, you either go all in or you pack it in. That's my mindset. You blow it up. Donovan has been real. You want to go to, the Pistons. You can go to Detroit. He'll be lovely in Detroit right now. That's exactly what they need is a score. You want to go across seas back to the West or something. We can get some picks for Evan Mobley or Jared Allen or something. James Harden. It is what it is.
I'm trying to stay away from that Western Conference.
I'm just saying, like, bro, teams don't necessarily want to trade.
I'm staying away from that Western Conference.
No, I'm just saying, like, teams don't necessarily want to trade in their conference. So, like, it's hard for me. Most teams ain't gonna want to trade. Like, they're in the East. They ain't gonna want to trade in the East. But in my mind, like, look, if you can get them to Pistons, I'm just in mind. So, like, I don't really see a way they can get small time better that makes a difference. Like, I had to look at the free agents right now that's coming up. I don't necessarily think off the top of my head of some small time free agents that can make this team get over the hump that's the Eastern Conference. Boston come back better next year. That's what I'm hoping and thinking. Boston come back better next year. The Sixers run it back. The Pistons come back better because I expect them to go get us another score or whatever. The Knicks ain't going anywhere. Like, there's 4 teams off rip I think it will be better than the currently constructed Cavaliers. I don't know of a small time trade that ain't like a major star or something that makes you better. Unless, like, you trade Jared Allen and a pick for, like, Bam Adebayo or something like that. Like, I don't necessarily think the Heat would just give him up necessarily because they ain't got nothing else anyway. I mean, that's something that can be marginally, but they don't help your front court problem. Whereas your front court can't defend that well. And I'm just like, I don't know of a move that's gonna make you better than those 4 teams off rip. Like, as long as everybody's healthy and everything. I don't know. And it's almost the same problem that the 76ers have. I don't know of a move you can make that makes you small time better compared to every stuff they have. So I'm just like, if you can't get a lot better or at least make a difference, blow it up. I just be done with it. If you can't figure out something that's going to work in a small time, blow it up. Because otherwise, James Harden gets done with his contract. What you going to do after next year? He gets done with that contract. James Harden, we already know, is a journeyman. If he even willing to stay in Cleveland past that, are you really going to want to sign him? Probably not. Donovan Mitchell, he's got, I think like 2 years left on his deal or something of that nature. And you better pray he ain't got no player option. If he got a player option after next year, he probably gone. So, like, what can you do? Like, if you don't have options after a certain point, then you just gotta be like, hey, we tried. This ain't the team, and we just do what we gotta do to split it off afterwards. And then you got other teams that might come up, make a run. The Magic might come back better next year, depending on what they do in the offseason. The Wizards might come out of freaking nowhere with their roster and with the pick they got, the number 1 pick or whatever. They might make a run next year and be like, you have the East ain't necessarily getting weaker. Like, it wasn't terribly strong this year, but it's not necessarily getting weaker. So I'm like, what do you do? And in my mind, if you can't make a big splash for a big trade or something that changes the dynamic of your team seriously to where the deficiencies of James Harden and, or the lack of aggression in Jared Allen and Evan Mobley and stuff, if it can't mask over that, I doubt that you add some random small, like if they be like, hey, let's go get Tobias Harris and put him at small forward position. All right, cool. We get Tobias Harris, and now we have Tobias Harris on this team, and we still can't do much. Like marginally trade team things like that ain't gonna make this team get over that hump. It's just not. So I'm like, you can't make a big splash. I think blow it up.
Well, I don't know what Cavaliers got. They got destroyed. But Knicks made small adjustments to their roster that seem to work. So we don't know. We'll see. But they need to find some defensive players. They need to find like a Caruso types and all them to build around some tough nosed people because they are not tough. They are not a tough team at all. They are kind of soft in a lot of ways. But
okay. Two things I will say is that Donovan is currently in the second year of a 3-year extension. So that means he could decline. Oh, yeah, he do got a player option. He got a player option after this upcoming season in 26-20 from 25-26, which means he could decline that 2027 player option and become an unrestricted free agent. I'm going to tell you right now, Cavs, I'm going to tell you for your own good. Because Donovan can leave after next year, I'll tell you right now, if y'all don't make a big splash this offseason, blow up the team. Blow up the team. Like, if you can't make a big splash this offseason, I'm going to tell you now to blow up your team. Like, go ahead and blow it up. If you by a trade deadline, February 2027, if you can't make a big splash or your team gets significantly better, blow up the team. I'm going to tell you right now because it's not going to end pretty if Don opt out and go sign somewhere else. It's just not going to be pretty. That man, he's going to be 30 years old next year. It's not going to be pretty if that man opt out and go somewhere next year. But as far as the Knicks, finishing with them, the Knicks turnaround isn't that surprising to me because the Knicks were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year and they lost really from, I think it was a combination of a little bit of injury because Brunson was dealing with a little bit of a leg injury or whatever, but also just from like their mentality that they weren't that good defensively and the Pacers was a great defensive team that just exploited them, combined with some crazy clutch shots from like Tyrese Halliburton and stuff like that nature. Like the Pacers overachieved last year. They did. So, they got hot like the Knicks, not to the extent that the Knicks are getting hot this year, but they got hot like the Knicks is this year. And, the Knicks last year just was not mentally the right thing. They were the right team on paper, but they weren't mentally the right team. So, they just had a change and them getting to the finals isn't surprising to this extent. It is, but not that. So that's what I got.
We kind of picked him when Boston got hurt, but I don't really got much else to talk about besides the first half of this game. And what I don't like in this first quarter, Wemby was not a force again. They down 2, but Wemby was not a force. He does this thing when he just like tries to get everybody involved. When he has, and then when it's like he felt like I'm needed, I try to take over then and dominate, and then they win handily most of the time, but he dominates. But I'm like, hey, bro, you gotta just, hey, I love y'all. Kill switch. Kill switch. Just give me the ball. I know. Listen, we down 2 and all this. I only took 2 shots in the first half. One is a 3 at the buzzer. And I missed it on the side to go because I really ain't shot the ball this whole game. Fox right now is 1 for 6, which is awful. And he's taking most shots to everybody but Champagnie. Champagnie is 5 for 8, which is the reason we in the game. Vassell 0 for 1. Victor 1 for 2. Castle 1 for 2. Fox 1 for 6. Harper 0 for 1. Keldon Johnson 0 for 1. Carter Bryant 2 for 3. But I'm like, that's not how y'all got to dominate the game because Champagnie, I love him. He's hot right now. But why is Fox 1 for 5 and Wemby ain't got nothing but 2 shots? And one is a buzzer shot that he had to shoot. He did step back and wonderful good shot, but I'm like,
well, don't worry. I have some fun things to fill out a little bit of extra time, Grandpa, before we finish. So, because we're down to the last 3, got 3 teams in the playoffs, and most likely these 3 teams ain't going to make any crazy changes in the offseason unless, like, OKC decides to go for some Giannis or something like that nature. I'm going to ask you about some free agents this offseason, and I want you to tell me where you would like them to go. Real simple. So, we're going to start off. First, unrestricted free agent, LeBron James. Where would you like for him to go?
Cleveland in the store.
You really want this man to go to Cleveland?
Retire in Cleveland. Why not?
But, all right. So you want LeBron to go?
What other star player been to a team 3 times?
Not the same team. No, but that's because most players aren't journeymen like that.
That is his hometown team, by the way. You started there. In the middle, you went there and won a championship, and then you in there. It's a great story. Tell us a great story. I'm Arthur. I gotta have a great story.
Next one. Somebody that surprised a little bit. CJ McCollum.
I liked him in Atlanta.
Right. Say come back to Atlanta. Not bad, not bad.
He fit
Next
there.
one.
Listen, everywhere else he go, he seemed to have a problem. He fitting alone.
Next one. Ayo Dusua.
I ain't gonna lie, probably should stay in Minnesota. I'm trying to think of a 6-man who needs a quick 6-man. Does he fit? I don't know if he fits Detroit. I don't think he fits Detroit.
If he could score decently, he might not be a 6-man on Detroit. He could start. It ain't like their shooting guard position is crazy.
I like the way he played to be a 6-man.
But it's an idea. I mean, otherwise the Lakers would do wonderfully with him since they need some bitch scoring production. But I don't know if the Lakers gonna be able to pay him.
I need to know who on the Lakers roster before we decide on it. But Ayo is a really good player. He fine.
Next one, Tobias Harris.
Stay in Detroit. That's the only place that love you, my boy.
You are dirty.
Yeah, everywhere else is gonna be the Harrison boy.
Next one, these are player options. They have to opt out, of course. But Austin Reeves.
Oh, I would like Austin. I actually would like Austin in Detroit if we can get rid of Tobias.
I'm not a fan of that because Austin, as of yet, can't be trusted in the playoffs. Like he has not shown that he is able to elevate his game in the playoffs. There are playoff risers and there are playoff shrinkers. So far, Austin doesn't look like a playoff shrinker. This year got a little bit of a caveat because he was coming off injury, but he still didn't look good. He had some high point games and a high turnover ratio. So it still looks very finicky. And the Pistons need a scorer, especially in the playoffs, because I can't trust them doing it, especially because they have to pay him top money. I ain't feeling that one as much. I mean, for that, and the way that Luka gonna be tripping, shoot, you might just have to keep him in Lakerland. But the amount of money you have to pay him would be crazy. Next one, James Harden.
Retire.
Oh my God, you're a monster.
Hey, bro, it's that time, bro. It's that, bro. Ain't no way, bro. Unless you coming out on a mission to you gotta take the veteran minimum and come out on a mission to destroy everything. Or you need to retire, bro. What I just saw was retirement worthy. Did you watch them games we just seen?
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now,
he got Chris Paul out the league, and Chris Paul played way better than that.
Yeah, they want Chris Paul out, and next two teams, which is the Spurs and OKC, Chris Paul played great those 2 years. So, unfortunately,
Chris Paul helped raise them young boy.
Unfortunately, Harden got $42 million coming next year, and he'd have to decline. I doubt he'd do it. So
he gonna take that money because ain't nobody paying him that. We saw
next
2 fake.
Trae Young.
Trae Young. Ooh, Trae.
He got opt out to be a free agent next year. He can't.
Who would Trae Young go to? He's
right now. He's on Washington, but he can go anywhere.
To me, I think he'll do is go back to Washington. What I think he should do is go somewhere like somebody can get a lot of assists for offense.
Miami.
That's true. But I think Pat might run him off though. Denver? Trae Young at Denver?
You want to get rid of Jamal Murray for Trae Young?
Yeah, Trae Young can at least shoot the cover off the ball. Listen, one thing I know about Trae Young, he can consistently get assists. For his career, he won the only 3 players to average over 10 assists a game for his career.
I mean, but he don't need assists because you have Jokic there. You don't need assists.
But he can help. It'd take a lot of pressure off Jokic.
I mean, he could do that, but I'm thinking not with that. I'm thinking of
Jamal Murray ain't just his defense. That's the thing. You just build a bunch of defensive players around. The problem with Jamal Murray is he's so hot and cold.
Yeah,
he'll go a whole series and not score 20 points.
I'm more worried about the fit. The fit is one thing, and then the defense is another. Because I'm like, I already got Jokic a little bit exposed on the defensive end this year. He got exposed a little bit to the defensive end. Having him exposed defensively, and then having Trae on the other end defensively, look, we could try to put defensive players around him, but that's the main 2 ball handlers. Both are defensive liabilities, and we just saw with the Knicks that they had to turn that around to where now Cat and Brunson are playing very solid defense. I'm being fair to them. They're playing solid defense. But that was a knock against them and still is that their defensive liability somewhat. So it's like the Knicks could afford that because they were in the East. So they could afford that a little bit more. In the West, you cannot afford to have your main star players both be defensive liabilities. I don't necessarily think they're gonna work. For Trae Young, how old is Trae Young? Trae Young's what, 57? 27? 27, 28, something like that. I think he's something like that. So
he's 27.
27. Yeah, he's in his prime right now. I don't mind sticking it out in Washington. Honestly, I really wouldn't even try. I really wouldn't even opt out. I'd stay in Washington for 1 year, see how it runs. You got Anthony Davis there. You got a chance to see how the team's gonna flow and stuff like that. I wouldn't mind having a crack in Washington League. Next one, Draymond Green.
Golden State. Where is you going? Let's be real. Ain't nowhere.
Next one, Jalen Duren.
Detroit, take that money, bro. Take that money, bro. You average 11-5, bro. Get in the playoff.
Oh, that was rough. That was rough. I believe that to be the last one.
We just got a bunch of. Hey, shout out to Jalen Duren. He get that super max, because he got an NBA All-Third team.
Man, he can get all he want. Ain't nobody gonna pay him that doggone money. Not after that playoff performance.
That man went an average 11-5. By the way, the Spurs is down 9 now. Like I said, that the way they started the game. Listen, I get it. Champagne is hot, but bro, you gotta dumb it. When I say be a force, I don't mean just every other game. I mean just be like, I'm a problem for you all night. Cause now they're like, oh, he ain't aggressive. He has taken 2 shots. But what was my first thing I said when we came in today? I said, yo, bro, you only got 2 shots. Bro, you took what's the first complaint I had, Monray? He took 3 shots in the first half of the game. What game they blew him out in? He took 17 and 14 in the first half.
Look, I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna be fair to y'all. Not you gonna harp on Wemby. I'm gonna harp on the fact that I think Dylan Harper not being there, it hurts a lot. Dylan Harper, like
right now, he ain't 100%. You can look at him.
No, I'm saying he's not 100%, right? He hasn't been ever since game 4. Ever since game 3. He hasn't been ever since game 3. I'm just be fair. And like to me, like when we had to talk about between him and Stephon Castle, I picked Dylan Harper. That boy looked special. He looked great. He's one of the rare point guard type of players that can run the point, but also be a very good shooting guard. He's only 20. I was like, and like I said, not having that spark has hurt the Spurs. Like I say, you might not notice it as much because Stephon Castle's been trying to take up the match for it, and De'Aaron Fox, it's anybody's guess on how healthy he is or is not, because he came back. Then Lou Dort got that unfortunate fall, and now he's 1 for 6 now. I don't know how 100% he is. So I really don't know how to go with them, but that does hurt. So not channeling the offense through Wemby to make it easier on your point guards or lack thereof. I don't know, Grandpa. I mean, it's a close game. It's not really
got 2 shots in 11 minutes.
Like I said, it's not nothing crazy right now. It's only a 6-point game, but I don't know. I don't know, because like I said, it's a matter of the Thunder got to find offense somewhere. And like I said, they got a deep roster, so they hoping somebody can pop through and get it like Alex Caruso did, or Jalen Williams did, or Jeremy Kane did.
Why though him getting shots? People don't think it because you playing. Listen, if you 7'5", I don't think people understand how tall 7'5" is. Listen, among freaks, if Steph Curry walked in the room with me and Monte, he's gonna look gigantic.
Yeah, because we minimize 6'2" like it ain't nothing.
You know what I'm saying? We barely even know 6'3" people.
Yep.
So he walk in the room, he's gonna tower over. Wemby makes him look like a little bitty kid.
Yeah, like he's 7'5". Like he's well over 7 feet.
When he's well over 7 feet, the amount of attention that he has to receive is absolutely astonishing.
Oh yeah, he's well over 7 feet. Not just like 7'1" though. He's well over 7 feet. So it's like on screen, he looks tall on screen. You can only imagine
it. I don't think this ever happened before, but let's see. Wemby's wingspan is 8 foot long.
Crazy.
And he can move. Listen, you gotta dominate. Right now, he still has 2 shots. Champagne is playing very well. He has 2. Dylan Harper's minus 13 right now, as Monray said, because he ain't 100%. Darren Fox is 1 for 6, but he's +1 because.
Well, I don't think he's 100% either. That's the problem. Like,
they're not 100%.
yo, that's the ugly part about this series. The Spurs' point guards are potentially, I'm gonna say potentially because I wish nothing but could help them. They're potentially hampered. Versus OKC, their shooting guards are potentially hampered. So it's like one got to find offense, one got to find floor management, and it's like, well, here we go.
Yeah, because like I said, Darren Fox is 1 for 6 right now.
Fox ain't been healthy ever since he ain't been healthy ever since the Trailblazer series.
And let's be honest, like I said, he's so quick that he ain't even that quick right now. So if he was as quick as he normally is, it wouldn't be.
They really wanted him for
right
ball
now
security.
when he decides to score. But
they really needed him for ball security is what they needed him for. Like, because he's not gonna have the turnover problem that the other young guards have. He ain't gonna have it.
You notice since he came back, even if he ain't 100%, Castle only has 2 turnovers in 2 games.
Yep. They know, like, but he can come back. Even if he ain't shooting or going crazy, he ain't gonna turn the ball over like that.
Yeah.
Cause they know they can't run it through Castle. Like, no, not right now. They can't.
Castle still got 3 assists though, because like I said, he's a playmaker. He just takes a bunch of risks because he's young.
Yeah, but it helps out that both Harper and Fox are still on the floor to be able to not just solely have the ball in his hands, get so much pressure on him. So it allows him to be able to work through, second, third defenders rather than, okay, you got the first tier defender because you got the ball in your hand. Because it ain't like the other small defenders on the Thunder got anything else to do. They ain't fun to mess with Wemby. So obviously they're just going to mess around with Champagne and Castle all day. But, that's all I got.
Yeah. I'm just
Simple show.
looking at the game, but I don't like the way the game started, even if it's close. I'm like, but that sets the tone for the rest of the game because it's hard to just like get back in the rhythm of me gonna be a fourth. Like I said, they're played 16, 18 minutes. You only got 2 shots.
Yeah,
I know you're like, oh, we trying to fill the game out. The next step in Wemby's evolution, Monray, is him figuring out his killer moves because every star player got moved.
Man, I say. You talking about feel the game out? Look, you feel the game out in the first 5 minutes of the first quarter. We 8 minutes left in the second. The game been felt out already.
So I'm saying you can't just pick it up. That's my problem with it. You but hey, how they gonna guard me? All right, this how they gonna do it. All right, let me take over.
Yep, we'll see.
Because I saw LaMarcus Aldridge talking about it, and I saw KG talk about it. He ain't developed his move yet because he could do so much. I feel like a lot of times he ain't figured out. Like, for instance, everybody know the classic MJ fadeaway. Everybody know the Kobe fadeaway. Everybody know the Allen Iverson crossover mid-range. We know shot the step back, the James Harden step back. Everybody got a move that they comfortable with, that they can always go to. The Dirk the fadeaway in the one corner, the Dirk dude. The shot, the Kawhi Leonard mid-range.
I don't know Wemby's yet.
Yeah, he don't have one yet. He just do stuff.
I don't know Wemby's yet because say everybody.
KG, the mid-range KG off the pick and roll. Steph carried the little corner 3 when he ran all the way around. And then he got 2. Steph Curry got Draymond Green moving screen, half court 3 that he shoot.
Yeah, he got the. I was about to say he do got the step the further back 3 too. They just walk.
Shea got the mid-range pump fake that he just shoots after a while after he do the step. It's a push off too. Jaylen Brown got the same move. They do the same move. They do the push off mid-range.
Yeah, even Jalen Brunson starting with one like his stop and go immediately shooting.
Yeah, the stop and go floater.
The stop and go, he got his too. Like the floater, I ain't gonna hold you. Any player that's able to make the floater a part of your game is disgusting. The Kyrie got that same floater. That'd be disgusting too.
Yeah. So my thing, when he learned his killer move so he can always go to it and they know what spot to give it to him, man. Like, oh yeah, he gonna make this. He's 7'5", ain't nobody gonna stop it. But when he evolve into that, the league.
We will see.
So we'll see. But that was the show. That's all I got. Shout out to everybody but the Cavs because that was disgraceful. Shout out to Donovan Mitchell, 31 points in 31 minutes because you don't
tried,
that, my boy. So I appreciate you for that.
You tried.
I don't even have my outro. I wanted my Knicks outro, but I'm at another computer and it's not loaded on this computer. That sucks. I'm sad. But all right, we out. Monray, where can they find you first?
Boy, Monray Hudson, everywhere it says Monray Hudson, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and of course on Make It Make Sense podcast on Saturdays. We also do accept sponsorships from any New York Knicks paraphernalia. Shout out to Knicks. Yeah, we take y'all for sponsorships. Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. If the Spurs lose, I want the Knicks to win because I need to see if New York turn to Gotham.
New York fans ain't had nothing this excited to go crazy over. Not counting last year when they were Eastern Conference Finals and they was already counting their chickens before they hatched. But they ain't had nothing this excited to root for since the New York Giants were in the Super Bowl in 2012.
And let's be honest. Out of every team, the Knicks the only team in New York. Oh, what are Yankees at? Didn't they move?
Maybe didn't the Yankees win recently? Or am I tripping?
No, it's been a few years, but they won. They're the last team that won.
No, the Yankees ain't won since 2009. Ooh.
It's been some years.
Okay, so I was right. They ain't had nothing this crazy to cheer for since 2012 when Eli beat the Patriots again. They ain't had nothing this crazy to go over there since then.
And that team in New Jersey.
We ain't talking about the Jets.
Those teams in New Jersey. The Knicks and Giants. I mean, not the Knicks. The Giants and Jets are in New Jersey. So this is like and by the way, the Mecca, Madison Square Garden in the middle of New York. So them people lose. They come right after the game to lose.
Madison Square Garden gonna be wild.
By the way, if you have been there, that arena, it ain't even the best arena. It's just something mythical because the name. Like I walked in there when I was in New York, and it was just like a shops and stuff because it wasn't a basketball season. And I'm like, it just feels mythical. It's like this Madison Square Garden. Yeah, the best arena. Like that arena in Dallas is crazy. The football stadium in Dallas.
Jerry World is insane.
Yeah, you ever been there? It's like a museum amusement park. And I'm like, what is this? Like this is like the new age, and then there's one in Seattle too. I ain't never been to that one, but I've been to Jerry World and I've been to Madison Square. Madison Square Garden like one of the classic stadiums, but it just feels good. It feels like authenticity is here. So, but like I said, if the Spurs don't win, I'm probably gonna root for Nick because I want to see if Spider-Man goes like steal a Subway sign again.
I mean, we'll be here for June 2nd, which should be game 1 of the NBA Finals. So we will know when we return.
Yeah. I appreciate y'all.
Peace.
See y'all next Tuesday. Peace.